2018 is looking like a great time to be a mobile gamer. Hey warriors, I'm Ben, and today on Android GameSpot we're gonna talk about 15 of the best upcoming online games on mobile, and a quick reminder to turn on your notification bell to be the first in line whenever new videos are out. Starting with number 15, created by Vivid Games, a Polish studio you may know by games such as the Real Boxing series. Metal Fist Urban Domination is a team action game where you assume the role of various characters, each with unique attacks and abilities, and you fight for domination in a number of single player and multiplayer modes. The mechanics of the game are pretty simple and don't require serious skill, but in order to be successful in the game, you need to develop your own fighting style and constantly train so that your character can progress. There are around 100 types of weapons, items and skills that you can use to not only change the looks but also the abilities of your character. Number 14 is Skidstorm, which is an arcade top-down racing game featuring a light tone and vector graphics, and you can use several vehicles that are unlocked as you progress in the game. The tracks on which the races take place all feature desert scenery, but despite the fact of being short, they are filled with various ramps, traps and destructible objects that can make the races more interesting. The developers made sure that their game has simple, intuitive controls such as automatic acceleration and auto-regenerating boost. Players must focus only on controlling the vehicle. Skidstorm offers both single and multiplayer. The first mode offers many races against AI as part of the campaign, as well as time trials. As for the multiplayer mode, up to 4 players can play simultaneously. Next is DC Unchained. Developed by the South Korean 433 Creative Lab, DC Unchained is a mobile action game based on a free-to-play business model and offering mainly PvE and PvP multiplayer modes. The action of the game is set in the universe created by DC Comics for their comic books, animated series, and movies. In DC Unchained, players get to visit many locations introduced in the comic books and control the most famous superheroes and supervillains featured in this universe. The gameplay revolves around fighting hordes of opponents controlled by the AI and facing other players. During the game, one is tasked with assembling a team of 3 and participating in dynamic battles using unique sets of skills with each separate character. DC Unchained delivers several game modes including an elaborate story mode, time challenge, special missions, the defense mode, and multiple PvP based modes. Number 12 is Tom Clancy's Shadowbreak, a combination of shooter and tactical strategy developed by Ubisoft for mobile devices. The story of Tom Clancy's Shadowbreak is set in the near future, soon after a series of terrorist attacks. The gameplay comes down to eliminating targets over a large distance in first-person view. Since you cannot change your position while playing, you must rely on your squad to follow your orders. You can point targets for them as well as move them around locations, all the while protecting them from enemy fire. As you progress, you unlock better and better gear for your squad, and you can also recruit new soldiers. Number 11 is a card game with turn-based strategy elements that uses the free-to-play model with microtransactions. Feria invites the players into an old fantasy world, home to humans as well as other intelligent species. The game puts emphasis on the lore and contains much additional information about the fictional universe. As for the gameplay, Feria represents an unorthodox approach to the card game genre. Duels between 2 players are the foundation of the game. The fights are waged by using cards drawn from users' personal decks, and the warriors must also gather resources and use them in the duels. The cards represent heroes, effects and spells, but they cannot be played freely. Instead, they have to be used on special fields. Another innovation in the game is the necessity for characters to find themselves on adjacent fields in order to start the battle. It is worth adding that Feria also allows the owners of various gaming platforms to face each other. Number 10 is Black Desert Mobile, a special version of Black Desert Online developed for mobile devices. The developers intended to recreate as many features of the well-received original version as possible. During the game, the players are exploring vast worlds, fighting encountered enemies and completing quests received from non-playable characters. It is also possible to participate in battles between guilds. Number 9 is Payday Crime War, a mobile installment in the series of the first-person shooters that is so popular on consoles and PCs. The title was developed by the creators of the main entries of the Payday franchise, Overkill Software. Payday Crime War focuses on multiplayer. The game's mainstay is a team PvP. One team assumes the role of criminals and the other team assumes the role of a SWAT team. The objective of the former is to perform a robbery while the law enforcers are trying to prevent them from succeeding. The game takes place in varied locations, and as you progress in the game, you can unlock new weapons, armors, and additional abilities. High quality graphics and easy controls are big assets to the game. Number 8 is Dead Rivals. According to Gameloft, Dead Rivals is a fast-paced action meets classic MMORPG adventures type of game. It comes with 3 uniquely skilled classes and the option to customize your hero's look. Dead Rivals features a crafting and research system as well as the option to improve your weapons in the game. Your hero can be upgraded thanks to the multiple skill trees available, but make sure to choose the right abilities for every challenge. And since this is an MMO, you will be able to team up with other players to overcome the challenges in the game or simply participate in PvP battles. Special co-op missions are also available to players, which will feature different objectives from escaping infested areas to escorting supply convoys and defend against surprise attacks. And for those of you who prefer solo play, Gameloft promises a complete MMORPG style quest system which allows you to focus on the main storyline or take on a multitude of side quests. Number 7 is Paladin Strike, which is a top-down multiplayer hero shooter set in the Paladins universe that sees over 15 different champions doing battle in fast-paced 5v5 matches on iOS and Android. Currently in development by Hi-Rez Studios, which are the creators of Paladins and Smite, Paladin Strike plans to bring the tactical team-based combat of the hero shooter to mobile devices. It'll feature over 15 different champions to choose from on release, with plans to add more via a steady stream of updates. So if your favorite Paladin's character isn't there yet, there's a good chance they will be eventually. Number 6 is Street Fighter 4 Champion Edition. And maybe, just maybe, Capcom has watched the video we made called The Games Capcom Don't Want You to Play and they listen. Street Fighter 4 Champion Edition is another version of Street Fighter 4 which was released in 2009. This new version though was developed for mobile devices. It is the third mobile version of the game and the previous ones were Street Fighter 4 from 2010 and Street Fighter 4 Volt from 2011, none of which saw the daylight on Android. The new edition features improvements and around 30 playable characters. Graphics are improved as well and the character models have more details and the black lines that were present on the sides of the screen are removed. The title also features online multiplayer that the previous versions didn't have. The combat system wasn't changed too much, it is still one of the more advanced fighting games available on mobile devices. The players are using virtual buttons to tap various attacks that can be combined into simple combos and their more advanced versions, Super and Ultra. Next is Grid Autosport, which is another installment in a popular series of racing games developed by Codemasters. In contrast to Dirt, the other flagship franchise of the British developer, Grid Autosport continues the tradition established by the TOCA Touring Car Championship and TOCA Race Driver Series, that is, racing on asphalt tracks. The player assumes the role of a professional driver who competes against other racers, but he also has to care about his team members and stick to sponsorship deals. This new installment offers 22 different tracks and over 100 customizable cars, including both production models as well as unique prototypes. All of these account for an impressive number. The game offers improved visuals and a cockpit view, which is an element to that Grid 2 was deprived of. A large emphasis was placed on the multiplayer aspects of the game, for the players are allowed to create online racing clubs as well as to participate in regular challenges. Number 4 is Tekken Mobile, which is a fighting game developed by Bandai Namco Entertainment and is the first release of the popular fighting series on mobile, developed exclusively for smartphones and tablets. The gameplay consists of one-on-one fights in which you'll be using action-based combat system to move through the arena and use a variety of techniques. collecting characters is the key aspect of the game. In other words, there are more than 100 warriors to unlock. Each fighter has unique special attacks that you must first unlock and then upgrade with experience points. The game features a story mode as well as a multiplayer mode, and last but not least, you can upload your replays which will be used to teach the AI new tactics, which I think is a pretty cool feature. Number 3 is Shadowgun Legends. I did a special video about the game not long ago, and if you haven't seen it yet, I'll leave a link in the description down below. Shadowgun Legends is a new mobile game by Madfinger Games, where players fight the alien threat in an epic sci-fi shooter and become the hero of legends. There's a system of creating, developing, and customizing players' characters and avatars with dozens of unique skills and hundreds of weapons and armors. You'll be playing together with friends in online co-op battles and fighting for glory in competitive PvP multiplayer modes. Number 2 is Durango, which is an upcoming mobile survival MMO where you will find yourself in the prehistoric age thanks to a time warp and are challenged to survive in a harsh environment. Sporting a detailed 2.5D world that features graphics and mechanics that stretch beyond the typical mobile game, you need to band together with other players to build villages and survive as a community against the attacks of dinosaurs. The developers have named it a pioneering open world MMORPG to emphasize its focus on sandbox exploration and the ability to build towns from the ground up. Craft an endless variety of tools, fortresses, clothing, meals, and more that use resources found across the game world. Hunt, capture, and tame dinosaurs to ride and utilize in your community building, making full use of the world's resources. Number 1 is Brawl Stars, from the creators of Clash of Clans, Boom Beach, and Clash Royale. And I could stop right here. Brawl Stars is a 3v3 top-down shooter game where players from all over the world can battle in real time. As you progress through the game, you will unlock new characters, upgrade your brawler stats, and unlock new game modes. So far there are 4 game modes available. Smash and Grab, in which the first team to collect 10 crystals and hold on to them for the 16 seconds countdown win. Heist, where you'll either be the defending or the attacking team, and the main goal is to either defend the safe of crystals or break it open. The games last 2.5 minutes. Next is Bounty, which is a good old team deathmatch. And last but not least is Showdown, and unlike the other modes, this is a 10-player deathmatch with players getting better rewards the longer they can last. And that was the top 15 upcoming online games on mobile. And now I want to hear from you down in the comments. Which games got you excited? And if you could pick 3 to play right now, which will they be? If you liked the video, your thumbs up really helped more than you can imagine, and if you haven't yet, subscribing is a pretty good idea since we make 4 videos like this every week. And the best way to see them is to go ahead and subscribe. Once again, I'm Ben, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time right here on Android GameSpot.